And I'm like pulling my hair out. I'm pacing my floor because what happened on the first one? It went for 1 yard and he fumbled. Okay, so I'll give him an occasional fumble. But he went 11 times. It averaged 3 yards a carry, which is not good enough. In the last 4 runs, when you're trying to kill the clock and keep the ball away from Jeff Driscoll, I'm sorry I'm saying this publicly, but they could not stop Jeff Driscoll. So the last 4 runs to Zeke, they try to feed the beast, eat Zeke, eat, kill the clock. They go for 2 yards, 2 yards, 1 yard, and 0 yards. And if we could see the very last Zeke carry, because this is the one where you're backed up, 1st and 10 at your 13, and they give it to Zeke to kill the clock, and that's a 0 yard gain.
Skip, look at his offensive lineman.
Okay,
look at the line of scrimmage.
Okay, well, help me out.
But that's
that came. Then the next play, they play action to Blake Jarwin, we all call Shannon Jarwin, and he gets 23 yards, and it kills the clock.
And guess why he got that? Because they were so hell-bent on stopping Zeke Elliott.
Okay, what was I saying in my little living room? I'm saying feed the beast. I wanted to see him go 3 straight carries for a 1st down. And the clock runs and runs because there's 1:54 left when they started the series.
Right.
Okay, so I couldn't even see him run to kill the clock. Okay, so now we're down to what's wrong here? What's happening? Is it the offensive line? Have they just turned into a pretty good pass blocking line, but a bad run blocking line?
Well,
you want to discredit them? Or should you blame them?
I mean, if you look at some of the games, you see the defensive line resetting the line of scrimmage.
Okay.
They're resetting the line of scrimmage.
So, again, you want to talk about overpaid. You can go across the line. They are all locked in with huge contracts.
Yes.
Across the ball.
Yes.
All 5 of them.
Yes.
And are you telling me that they just can't open the same holes that they used to? Because we saw Zeke get loose one time this year, and it was at the Giants.
Right.
And what did he say after the game? Biggest holes I've ever had in my career dating back to Pop Warner.
Right.
So every time I looked up against the Giants, it was just open space, like lots of green carpet.
Yeah.
He's just running up the green carpet like he's in his living room, right?
Yep.
Okay, so is it the offensive line or is it the Earl Campbell syndrome? Because a month ago I started comparing Zeke to Earl Campbell, as much fullback as halfback or running back, right? But there's also another downside to Earl Campbell syndrome, and that is you're just taking too many hits.
Yeah, short shelf.
Okay, did in 3 years, because what's the old cliche about the average running back lasts 3.2 years?
Actually, it's a little less than 2 now. It's like 2.7 for a running back.
Okay, so did his shelf life expire just as Jerry gave him $50 million guaranteed? Is that possible?
I know Jerry hope not. Skip, for me, I can only remember one back, and I could be wrong, that ran to contact but still had breakaway speed, and that was Adrian Peterson. Adrian Peterson ran to contact.
I'll give you that.
And he could still go 60, 80.
Yeah.
But we don't see...
And Adrian has lasted a long time, given his proclivity for running to contact.
But Skip, that's a freak of nature.
Okay.
You remember the guy tore his ACL in December and then comes back the next year and was like 8, 9 yards short of breaking ED's record? The guy went for 2,097 with Christian Ponder as his quarterback. Skip, I just think the thing is, look, I was in a situation like when TD got to Denver, everybody knew what John Elway could do because he had taken a team to Super Bowls 3 times. He was an MVP. But we had this unheralded back. And team, for whatever reason, he went from 1,100 to 1,500 to 1,700 to 2,000. And they still did not believe that TD could beat them running the football. Now, as we got later in his career, they're like, nah. And we would need John to throw for 300 in order for us to win games. But for whatever reason, they thought, that's John Elway, because that's still John Elway back there. Well, people look at Zeke, and maybe he is slowing down. I don't believe so. But teams look at him and say, that's still Ezekiel Elliott. We want to make the other guy, because we know what he can do. And you remember last year when they played Detroit, Zeke went wild. He had, like 80 yards receiving. I think he had like another 130 or 140 something rushing, Skip.
Well, he caught the big pass at the end of the game.
Right.
On the wheel route that won the game.
And so Matt Patricia said, no, we're not having a situation like this again.
Okay.
Dak, if you throw for 400 and beat us, and guess what Dak did? Threw for 400 and beat them.
444. So, next issue. My man Zeke, and I do love my man Zeke, but he's had a whole bunch of off-field issues. Is there something going on off the field we don't know about? Has he been involved in some other controversy? I don't know what it is because not a peep of this has been reported. I'm just throwing out possibilities here because if we just do the on-field, is he hurt? He hasn't been on an injury report.
Right.
I don't know about a hamstring. I don't know about a groin. I don't know about a foot. I don't know about anything.
Right.
So he's not been listed, and nobody talks about it, and he doesn't look like he's hurt. He just looks like he's plodding in Cabo sand. He looks slow to me, and I don't know why. Okay, so is there an off-field issue, which leads to this? This is my greatest fear about Ezekiel Elliott. Is it possible, and you have seen this happen before, that he finally got paid? He really got big paid.
Yeah.
And then he lost his edge. He lost his drive, just a touch, because all it takes is lose a little bit of your drive, your commitment,
Right.
your anger, whatever that thing is that drives you, where you soften up a little bit in your approach. It's not that big a deal, because not once after a game have I heard an angry Zeke about, this is not going to happen again.
Okay.
They're not going to stop me next time. I haven't heard a vow from him all year where after a practice at midweek, he says, you know what? I'm sick and tired of this, and I'm going to show you.
Well, if a team shut down TD didn't say anything. That was the offensive lineman. So
Terrell
that one happened. Yeah, Terrell Davis.
Yeah.
The offensive lineman, that was up to Stink and Zim and Tom Nalen. That was for them. That's on them.
Okay, well, I don't think he got shut down very often. Right?
He didn't get shut down very often, Skip. But I think if Dak keeps playing this way, they're going to start to have to play coverage even more, and then we'll see these holes start opening up. But I just believe, Skip, and like I said, they've seen what this guy can do for 3 years. The analytics says when Dak Prescott, when Zeke Elliott is held less than 75, they're winning whatever. So the analytics.
They're changing rapidly.
They are. So now when Dak continues, because Skip, it can't be isolated, can't be a one-off.
Yeah.
Well, he did this one time, and then the next time we're going to find out. Because you best believe Bill Belichick will believe that Zeke Elliott is Zeke Elliott, and he would do everything he can to shut that run down. So we're going to see if your guy's what you said he is. Now, you telling me, had me out here giving A+, A+.
You did.
Yeah.
Shocked me because I gave him a B.
Well, hey, but you do know now, if you get an A++, and then you turn around and give me an F++, you know what that equals now. Okay, I'm just saying.
Just to drive my point home, just for the record, a year ago, through 10 games, Zeke had 3 fewer carries than he has right now.
He does.
So his carries are going up this year. So you can't tell me that they've just decided, let's back off Zeke, let's feed the quarterback. Let's let the quarterback throw. No, that's not what's happening. They're still feeding the beast. 194 carries to 191 through 10 games last year. But he averages, and you can throw in you can say that it's a phony number, but he averages 24th in the league in yards per carry, 8th in the league overall in rush yards. 2 + 2 equals 6 and 4. That's what it is. 6 and 4
Here's the thing, though, Skip. But of the guys that average at least 15 carries a game, because like I said, there's some guys in there, like Lamar Jackson has the highest average, Skip, but he's only, look at the carries. I mean, he had 9 for 86. And quarterbacks normally, Skip, if they run, they're going to have high averages because, they're getting 10, 15, they get 10 yards here, 20 yards there, which bumps up their average. But of the bell cow backs, he's 9th. But so when you factor that in, Skip, he's better than what his numbers are showing. And I think the thing is that just his presence, sometimes just his presence being in the game, because I can assure you, Tony Pollard is not going to command the respect that Zeke Elliott does.
I would agree with you, but there was that stat I threw at you yesterday. 6 times Pollard has gotten 12 or more snaps in games, and they went 6-0 because it just gave him a little spark, a little life, a little pop of electricity, just a little voltage.
Well, yes, Skip, you can get that, Skip, because it's, 6 play, 12 plays, so he gets 3 runs.
And I'm not advocating to replace Zeke with Tony. I'm not. Sorry.
That guy is a bell cow.
Okay, well, I hope he turns back into. But you just mentioned running quarterbacks. Guess who's also paying for Zeke this year? Dak, as a runner, is paying for Zeke because through 10 games last year, Dak Prescott had run it 53 times. He's 33 through 10 this year.
Wow.
I think he can really run the football. There was one call play for him on Sunday in which he had the option to keep it on the read option, and he kept it and got 9 of the easiest yards you'll ever see and slid.
Right.
What did we see last year? Do you remember Thanksgiving last year against the Redskins? Do you remember the escape? I think we have this play. I just want to remind everybody how the quarterback can run and is not running anymore at all. This is against the Redskins, and he escapes that sack, and he ducks and dodges that sack, and he breaks up, and then he somersaults into the end zone, which is pretty athletic for 240, right?
Yeah, I think the thing is, Skip, for him is that what they're seeing is the maturation of Dak Prescott, and then eventually he's gonna get down where that 33 that you see now is gonna be 23, and the 10 games this is gonna be 13 because Skip, he's starting to become more proficient at throwing the ball out of the pocket, and they want to get him away from.
But I would like to see a few blended in. Do you remember? Can we see the run real quick at the end of the Seattle playoff game? It won the game.
Yeah.
And it was a long, because it was 3rd and forever, and they ran the quarterback draw. Here it is up the middle. And he bangs through. He got all the way to the 1 yard line.
Yeah.
Okay, that he is highly capable of doing that, and they're just saying, no, not this year.
Well, here's the thing, Skip. Let's take Russell Wilson. Now, you remember when Russell, his first couple of years, they called a lot of design runs. Now, Russell still runs because of his capability, but they don't call as many runs as they did in the past because now he's proficient at throwing the football from the pocket. That's what your guy's graduating to, and that's what you hope. You hope to see. You know what? And he didn't force it. You know, some quarterbacks, we know a quarterback, we don't need to call his name. After 1 year, he wanted to be Peyton Manning and Tom Brady. Dak Prescott said, you know what? My legs are still a valuable asset. I'm going to use them, but eventually I'm going to graduate from this running mobile quarterback. I can still be mobile, but I believe I can stand tall and throw the ball from the pocket. That's where he's heading, Skip, and you should commend that because that'll add years to his career. Yeah, you know, quarterbacks that run often and early don't run long.
Okay, so now my team can't really run the ball and can't stop the run, which is a recipe for disaster down the stretch.
Yeah, because what if you...
And I'm going to ask this question one last time. Is it possible Jerry Jones blew it by giving Zeke Elliott $50 million guaranteed?
No, but what would cause a problem if you were fortunate enough, I still don't believe you're going to make the playoffs, if you can't stop the run and you get up to the slow starts that you guys, the customary, get off, you know they they run the ball, you ain't going to get with so many possessions.
I don't love this.
Oh, I can tell.
Yeah.
I feel the frustration coming from you.
I just want to see. Your guy going to get opportunity, Skip Bayless. He going to get opportunity on Sunday. Now,
which guy?
This is
Dak Prescott.
Oh, my quarterback.
Yeah.
Oh, up there.
Now, hey, I opened up a papa shop up there in Foxborough right next to the stadium.
You know what? Right now, Bill Belichick is saying, you know, what I do best is take away what you do best, so I'm going to take Dak Prescott away.
I know he's going to try to take Zeke Elliott away.
And Tom is frustrated. We'll talk about him
we
later.
will.
But first, should we talk about what happened last night? Is it
What
time
didn't happen.
for the Chargers to move on from Phillip Rivers? It wasn't pretty. That's next. Don't forget, you can check us out every day on the Fox Sports channel on SiriusXM. We'll be right back.